The Muslims Are Coming is a comedy, an eye-opener, and above all, it is a stance against the bigotry of Muslims occurring in Middle America. The co-directors and co-producers of the film, Dean Ubaidullah and Najeen Farsad, decided to take a twist on reaching out and explaining the average Muslim in America. On September 12th, they premiered their first showing of the film at Gene Siskel Film Center, and Yahalavoice was there to cover the event and take a closer look at what the film signified.
We wanted to do something using comedy to try to get people to see a different understanding of Muslims, and we thought, why not do a tour and document it? And Nagina made documentaries before. We were good friends. We worked on a lot of projects together, so we sort of brainstormed the idea together, and let's take a chance. And we had to raise money before we could do it, and then it's still a struggle, but I'm really happy we did it. I think there's a few messages. I mean, one is to reach Americans of other faiths and say, hey, if you have questions about Muslims, we're here to answer them. That was trying to be an affirmative action, and not sitting around passively, but actually going down to the South and going to the West and meeting people who have not met Muslims before. The other is to show them we're funny, to bring people together to laugh, and to entertain people. So it's sort of to educate and entertain at the same time, sort of in the way that like the Daily Show would do. That's our dream, to be educational, and people are laughing and having a good time while learning a little something.
Outbursts of laughs filled the theater room from reactions received in response to many of the booths set up in rural areas all across the states. The majority of Americans don't know what being Muslim is all about. They considered Muslims non-Americans and went to the extent to say that to be an American, you must act and talk and dress like one. The main performers in the film were liberal Muslims. So the question was, how does a film stand for all Muslims in America, given that some may be more conservative than others?
The stand-up in the movie is going to ring true for a lot of Muslims, They're going to be, oh yeah, that's like my mom, those are my dating problems, this is, I don't know, how I feel when I travel, whatever it is. I think parts of it are definitely going to resonate. I mean, is there an average? It's such a varied and diverse group of people. The Muslim diaspora is like from a bunch load of countries and different languages and different skin colors and races. So it's sort of like it's hard to say what the average Muslim experience is. I think Muslims that are more conservative are going to take it the same way that Christians are more conservative and Jews that are more conservative are going to take it, which is to say it's probably too risque for them in parts. You know what I mean? It's a PG-13 film with an emphasis on the 13. You know what I mean? It's like there's some stuff in there that children shouldn't watch, and there's some stuff in there that really conservative people in your family, even conservative atheists, shouldn't watch because they're just gonna think that it's too edgy and too risque.
The film featured commentary throughout from pop culture icons such as Jon Stewart, David Cross, Janine Garofalo, Colin Quinn, Louis Black, Rachel Maddow, and Russell Simmons. The Muslims Are Coming wants to change the conversation by unleashing the power of comedy in order to reach out to Middle America. There is a preconceived notion that Islam is a dangerous religion where women are forced to cover themselves and the other have evil secret motives. And The Muslims Are Coming wants to end that stereotype.
The burdens we have, or the different challenge we have for Muslim, people who are Jewish and Christian have their own unique challenge that they have because of their own faith. So for one, it's to make Muslims laugh and have a good time. For non-Muslims, hopefully it's a way to inform them a little bit more about who Muslims are. And hopefully the questions we have in our film reflect the questions that many, many Americans have, and they hear them answered about Sharia law, which is a big buzzword, and have the Imam talk about it, and the Congressman Ellison talk about that it can't be imposed, our Constitution prevents it, that kind of stuff. To even subtle things like the Imam talking about Jesus being a prophet for Muslims. Most non-Muslims have no idea that Jesus plays any role in our faith.
The concern is that the Muslims are coming, right? So we were just like, well, let's use it just comedically and turn it on its head, and be like, the Muslims are coming, and look, they're actually really fun, and they like to hand out pastries and go bowling, And so that was kind of the idea, is to turn that kind of phrasing on its head.
After the vicious and inhumane attacks on September 11th, 2001, all eyes were on Muslims everywhere, and especially within the States. Muslims were now distinguished as non-Americans, and when thought of the attack, Muslims were put in the forefront to explain themselves for what occurred. But is it our job to denounce terrorism?
I think that a lot of Americans that we met on this tour vocalize that this was an issue to them, that they did not see American Muslims denouncing terrorism. And even internationally, they'll say, well, why don't we see Muslims in other countries? I'm like, I have no idea why they're not doing it there. I cannot go to other countries and do it, but I can do it here in America. I think it's for each person their own choice, frankly. You can do it or not. I think living your life, being visible and successful is a great way of dispelling stereotypes that people have about Muslims. And I think that getting involved in entertainment, getting involved in the news, also plays a big role in redefining our image in a much more accurate and positive light. There's all different ways of chipping away at misconceptions. I don't think if all you did was denounce terrorism, it's going to make people understand who we are more. I think that's a small part of it. I think it's really about exposure. I really believe that. It's exposure, and that's a lot of why we went down to expose people to a different face of Islam than they had seen on TV, which were generally negative portrayals of Muslims who were terrorists or victims of terrorism.
With the film, they were able to present a face of Islam that creates a bond between Muslims and non-Muslims alike and have a good time while doing it. Nesreen Ballut, Yahalavoice.